All right, so this is just my standard charts, my candle charts. This is just what I use. But what we're going to do is we're going to create something from scratch. So we're going to right click on the chart and we're going to go to study config and then price. We're going to configure this and we're going to make it a line chart. We're going to turn the line into a black line. And then we are going to turn that off there, commit. And then we're going to scroll down here, and on my intraday charts, I always have VWAP on there just because that's an indicator that everybody else looks at. And so, you know, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy most of the time. So I will include that in scale. I won't display a value. I will commit that. So now we have a line chart with a VWAP line over the top of it, right? So we want a 1 minute, so you can kind of see it in the background there. But now I'm going to go to configure. I'm going to change the background to white. For all intents and purposes, we'll just leave everything else the same here. We'll show a ticker with black there. Click OK. All right, now it's looking closer, right? So now comes the fun part. So now we're going to do study config, and those lines that you see on Bao's chart are called pivot points. They're floor pivot points. If you want to know the calculation, you can research floor pivot points. Pretty much what it is those are predefined levels that floor traders look at in the pit that, you know, are predefined prices, and so that's oftentimes why they line up so well, is because, you know, there's a lot of retail money that's trading them, and those are predefined levels that are, you know, those are profit targets and those are stop losses predefined for, you know, longs and shorts. Not exactly to the max, but, you know, that's not the point of this video. So configure. So you add the pivots right here. They're in the study. You add them. You go to configure. Mine are already set up, but these are the colors that I use here. Okay. I actually reverse these colors around, but black pivot line, that way that you can see where it is on the chart. If you make it a white pivot line like it defaults to, you ain't going to see it. And you want to click label pivot points. I don't use Camarilla pivot points because, you know, not everybody else uses Camarilla pivot points. So I want to use these pivot lines and these support and resistance lines that everybody else uses. That way it becomes self-fulfilling prophecies. I don't want to be the one guy using a different line because not everybody else is using that. I want to be using stuff that everyone has their eyes on. And so right here in period, it's probably going to default to 15, but the new upgrade has these right here, 1 hour and 1 day. Okay, but if you don't have 1 hour and 1 day right here in the drop down, all you're going to do is, if it says period right there, you're literally going to type 1 day. You have to type it like I just typed it. Don't not capitalize it. Don't be a lazy ass and not space it or think you can shortcut it. Type 1 day with the capital letters and you'll nail it. So line chart, don't do a grid. That looks really weird. Click OK and touch commit. And now what's going to happen is study configure. The reason why I have not shown up is because I have to go to config. I have to remove this include in scale, display on X or display on latest value of Y axis. Commit that. Now here's the problem. You got to go back to configure and you got to turn on this label again, or you're not going to see the numbers. You're just going to see the lines. Click OK, click commit. We're going to do, why does this keep happening? That's so silly. It's because I'm using the wrong shortcut. So daily chart, 1 minute. Why is this not working? Oh, there they are. So now you can see the pivot lines right here. You can see yesterday's, but let's go back to a 1 minute. There's your pivot lines. And you can see 414, 347, 243, 144. There's a support. You can also see 604, 714, 825, and the pivot point right here at 414. So those are the calculations. That's how you use it. That's how you get it to show up. And best of luck to you. Take it easy.